Not all wineries have vineyards, and not all vineyards make wine. Knudsen Vineyards in the Dundee Hills started out growing and selling their grapes long before they started making wine. Today, over 45 years later, they are making some amazing Chardonnay and Pinot Noirs. I met with Paige to talk about the history of this family-run vineyard.
I want to start at the beginning of how we came to be in this place. In 1968, my mother and father went to France for the first time. And they visited the regions of Champagne and Burgundy. And my father in particular came home completely smitten with wine and those two regions. He said, you know, Oregon looks a lot like Burgundy. I bet we can do in Oregon what they've been doing in Burgundy for thousands of years. It was a former walnut orchard that was decimated in the storm of 1962 here in Oregon. And sure enough, it was for sale, and Dad bought it in 1971. And by April of 1972, we were planting grapes. And he partnered with Dick Erath, another pioneer, in 1976, and built and developed Knudsen Erath Winery, which is located right in the middle of Knudsen Vineyards. So for 10, 12 years, we were making wine under the Knudsen Erath Winery label. And in 1987, a couple of Australian gentlemen came to Oregon with the express intention of becoming the commercial scale sparkling wine producer for the state. They had a facility, they needed a vineyard, and you may remember my father's great love for sparkling wine, champagne, and we have a higher elevation vineyard which makes it especially suited for sparkling wine production. And with that, all of our production pivoted to what was called the Dundee Wine Company at the time, and now is called Argyle Winery. So we were their founding vineyard in 1987, and we continue to have a very good relationship and a productive relationship in that they still buy most of the grapes off of our property. So fast forward, we then were big proponents of Argyle wine because all of our grapes went to Argyle wine, and in 2009, after my brothers and I inherited the vineyard after our dad's passing, we decided to make wine under our family label again, the Knudsen Vineyards label. And we started with a 2012 harvest, which we then released, a Pinot Noir, in the fall of 2014, 100 cases, and which sold out in about 6 weeks. And that was so fun that we thought, well, let's make some Chardonnay, because we also grow Chardonnay. This particular wine is made from Chardonnay grapes that were planted in 1995.
Lovely. Oh my God, it's so much fun. And there's little bubbles and they're actually dancing.
This Chardonnay really gets people's attention. It's also a great wine with a lot of different foods because the acidity is so lovely. It just pairs with all kinds of food.
It is so delicious.
All right, the next thing I'm going to share with you is our 2015 Pinot Noir. So I should probably have started by saying we make Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. And the reason we make Pinot Noir and Chardonnay is because those are the grapes that we grow, exclusively Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. So this is our 2015 version of our Pinot Noir. And with a 130-acre vineyard, we can source a lot of different kinds of grapes and also different expressions of the vineyard, all from this one estate. So this 15 is blended from 3 different blocks on our vineyard. So our range of elevation on the lower end starts at about 520 feet, and we go all the way to 1,000 feet. Our cabin is at about 950 feet. What we found over the years is still wine gets made from the lower section of the vineyard. Sparkling wine gets made from the higher sections of the vineyard. And so in 2015, we made for the first time this estate reserve Pinot Noir.
Wow, that's
and we've had such good experience with it. Smell it first, because it's always good to kind of get a sense for it.
I can tell if I like a wine by the nose.
So this wine, while the previous wine is what we call our traditional style, which is very elegant, very full of finesse and lovely, kind of pretty aspects, this wine is a little more robust. It's a little bit more fruit forward. It has a little bit more tannic structure to it, and it's drinking exceptionally well right now.
And now you're running this with your 3 brothers. Are you all involved?
Yes.
And you're all over the place.
Yes, and some to a lesser and some to a greater extent. So I am the managing partner for the business.
I love it. That's so much fun. You guys drink really good wine.
Yes, we do. We make good wine and we drink good
wine.
That's right.
I love it. And your brother is here, and we are going to talk to him.
Yep, that's good.
So wine's been part of our family from, as long as I can remember, basically. It was in the early 70s when he decided that he was going to buy a piece of property in the North Willamette Valley and not only drink wine, but make it. And he immediately started planting grapes from Oregon standards in sort of big steps, 10 acres at a time. And very quickly we became one of the largest vineyards in Oregon. And so wine has been in our family, and this vineyard has been in our family for 45 years. It was only in 2012 that we decided, after Dad had died, that we would start making wine again with the Knudsen Vineyards label. We feel incredibly fortunate. As we've gotten to know our grapes through winemaking now, we've come to completely understand we make great fruit. As we make wine, we're going to make great wine.